Welcome to Digital Asset News. Take a top stories in cryptocurrency and digital assets, and I'm breaking them down to bite-sized pieces today. Pretty good stuff. First up, Bitcoin confiscated from the Plus token, which is a big Ponzi scam, was likely sold by China and is not being hoarded in the treasury. This has pretty big ramifications, and it kind of explains a lot of what has been going on with the price action also. Stellar has been going crazy, and this could be part of the reason. It awakens with a 100% price surge after 2 protocol upgrades. Also, in more China news, the BSN, or the National Blockchain Service Network provider, adds one more project to its list, and that is Polkadot. And finally, Cardano's Goguen era inching closer. We're going to take a look at what that all means and what is also going on with the next 2 developments. So we'll go over all that, but let's quickly take a look at what's going on in the market. Today is Saturday, November 28th. It's 9 a.m. Pretty cloudy, rainy day here in Houston, but here's what we got and what is going on. So Bitcoin, a little bit of a surge. I like to see this, 17.4, it's up 4%, but down 6% for the week. And we've seen some pretty big swings lately, almost $3,000 in a 24-hour time frame. And that's nothing to sneeze at, but looks like we may be on the road up, but I'm still a little bearish in this position. I think there's still a bit more of losses to have, but who knows? Ethereum 529, I like that. XRP is up massively again, 88% over 7 days, 16% for the 24-hour. Tether's in 4th place, still at 19 billion. But here's an interesting thing: Cardano is now in the 5th position. Look at this. Cardano was down around 8, 9, sometimes 11. And Polkadot was up around here. Bitcoin Cash were jockeying position. Chainlink was usually number 5, but Cardano has overtaken that position, not by much. We're looking at a 5.2 billion market cap to 5.1 billion market cap. But Chainlink Cardano is on a huge tear. And when we go over this story, which is the last one, which really is probably one of the bigger ones, you're going to understand why this is all happening. Also, Stellar at 143% for the week, 13% for the 24-hour. Also, let's take a look at this instead of in USD, but also in Bitcoin. So we can compare everything against the dollar, but the dollar is pretty weak. We take a look at that. Ethereum about 0.4, XRP 11, 100% for 7 days as far as in relation to Bitcoin. Cardano's still up massively. Everything's up. I mean, let's just be honest. But 160% for Stellar. Get out of here. It's crazy. 3.4 for Monero, 8% for NEM. What we should be asking is what's down right now? I mean, we took such a huge dip. I mean, how could anything be losing? Well, Huobi token, but what are you going to do? Zcash 3.4 up, that's good. 3.8, nothing really fantastic. All right, let's jump into today's top stories. So first up, Bitcoin. The Bitcoin that was confiscated from the Plus token scam was sold by China. So everybody had been reporting about this, about the Plus token. It was a huge scam, just a Ponzi scheme. They would take money from the new people coming in and pay the old people, and then it would just keep going around and around. It was a billion-dollar scam, multi-billion-dollar scam. And they finally got caught, but damage is done. And of course, China was in the middle of this, and they was able to confiscate a whole ton of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And everybody thought that what they were going to do was just hold it and put in their treasury, and then they would dominate the world scene. But as it appears here, that's not the case. They don't really care that much. They want cash, and they want to keep things liquid. So I know we had talked about yesterday about Brad Garlinghouse being on Anthony Pompliano's podcast, and they were going back and forth about the Chinese mining pools versus the individual miners. And there was a big debate, but it doesn't really matter. What it really matters is public perception. And Brad Garlinghouse is doing a fantastic job of rattling the cages, pounding the desk, and going, you know what? We got to really control the situation because China is taking over Bitcoin. That could be a national security issue. And if you step back and look at like 3D chess type thing, you're like, it's a great move. It's brilliant. And there's actually an article over at BTC Manager which talks about the U.S. intelligence asks the SEC to support Bitcoin and crypto companies, and the reason because they're looking at national security issues, which is one of the questions I actually brought up yesterday. Well, could this be a national security issue? And it looks like people are taking the bait. So whether that be the actual plan or not, it's still a great move. It's a great move for crypto, and we'll see if it all pans out. But in all honesty, if you peel back the layers, China's not like they really want it. They're like, we want some cash. So what happened here? So Chinese crypto journalist Colin Wu and a few other experts believe that Bitcoin and Ethereum confiscated by the Chinese government from the Plus token scam has been converted to fiat and put to the Central Bank of China. Colin Wu shared screenshots of official documents about the confiscation of extremely large amounts of Bitcoin from the Plus token scam, biggest Ponzi in history, crypto history. Anyhow, it was 190,000 Bitcoin and 830,000 ETH. That's a ton of crypto, which cost over $3 billion. And wow, it was $3 billion just for Bitcoin and $423 billion for Ethereum. Wow. And says that according to the document, the Chinese government sold that crypto and put the funds to the central treasury managed by the People's Bank of China. So it says here the official announcement seems to indicate the government has sold it and returned to the central treasury managed by the central bank. So the big question would be, well, China likes to put out official announcements, which are totally fake. So I know that there's a lot of activity in the Twitterverse, and they're talking about tracking these different transactions through different wallets. So we will see if this holds true. But if it does, what it says to me is that if China had all this crypto, then they had to liquidate it, and they did it through Huobi and OKX. And if they did that, that would play a little piece in the market, I would say, if you have all those different Bitcoin and Ethereum getting liquidated and just sold on the open market, because they're not like MicroStrategy. They don't have to keep the price down. They're just like, you know what, just sell it, get rid of it, and then off they go. I mean, they may have, but I don't think that would be the case. So if they did do that, which it sounds like they did, then that could have been part of the reason for a little bit of price fluctuation. And this has been going on for a while. This hasn't just happened like last week. So just so everybody knows. But I think it's an interesting development. And to me, it really doesn't matter if they did sell it or they did keep it. Whatever it means that Bitcoin Ethereum is either locked away in some place and probably not going to be sold, or it got sold to the highest bidder and is in the hands of potentially somebody else, whales or whatnot, and hopefully it gets locked up in that situation. But for what we see right now for the price action, I mean, we've had a little bit of an increase these last couple of days, but I don't think it's going to last. I think we're going to see some more dips. And for me, again, dollar cost averager, these are great days. These are the days I live for. I'll be increasing my positions. I buy crypto every single day. So great. Anyhow, let me know what you think in the comments section. Let's move on. Next up, I had no idea what was going on with Stellar because, I mean, the price fluctuation was so great. I thought it was just in tandem with the XRP, but there's also always reasons behind price action. So this is what happened. Stellar's had an upgrade, and it boosted the prices dramatically. They underwent a public upgrade on November 23rd that was voted in and implemented by its network's validators. It came with two new features. So Protocol 15 includes these features called claimable balances and sponsored reserves that make it easier to build apps on Stellar. That's great. Make it easier for people to build on Stellar, all the different dApps they want to do. Then you'll have a more robust community. Then people will want to use Stellar and buy Stellar, and then the price goes up. Fantastic. So what are these two things? Well, the claimable balances feature introduces a new ledger entry for splitting payments into two different parts. And I was like, well, who cares? What is that all about? It enables independence between sending and receiving accounts, which is necessary to allow efficient and seamless bridging services for fiat and other support digital assets using XLM or Stellar. And then sponsored reserves allow accounts to sponsor each other without surrendering Stellar from their control. The feature also comes with new extensions that will enable recording key information about the sponsorship details or deals. So it just sounds like to me that this is going to make it more better operability, a little bit more easier to use, especially for those developers. So yeah, I can see it. And I don't know if that's the whole reason for the price action, but I'm sure it could definitely help. Last piece is just on this. Network is based on a proof of stake consensus, which is one of the reasons why I own Stellar. I own Stellar and I own XRP because I don't know which one is going to be the one that is chosen for cross-border payments, so I hedge my bets. And that's why I have both. Now, here's what's next. They did say that Whale Alert is now reporting an increased movement of huge amounts of XLM between exchanges and wallets. And depending on who you believe, it's never a good thing when the whale wallets go to the exchanges because that means a massive sell-off. Other people have told me, oh, but you got to watch out because those whales will do that and they'll trick everybody and they'll think it's going to be a sell-off and it's not, and they'll gobble everything up. I'm like, whatever. This is why I don't trade. This is why I don't trade, because there's so much manipulation going on. I just don't have time for that. If you're a trader, God bless you. I don't know how you can do it. So I just buy it, set it and forget it, and just that's it. That's my whole strategy. And of course, buy up dips, which works out pretty well usually. All right, so that's it for Stellar. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm excited about the project. I think it's going to do great things, but only time will tell. All right, let's move on. Next up, another project I own. And if you've noticed on this channel, I do not like to hide things. And when I talk about projects, it's because I am biased. I mean, it always surprised me when like other YouTubers or other people on Twitter are like, I just do it because I love the project, and and I'm like, yeah, you're invested into it. So all these different things I'm talking about, I'm invested into them. There's a reason why I talk about these things. Of course, I don't, just me talking about it doesn't really do a dent in the price. It's just me talking about it, but it does attract my attention, and it is a reason why I talk about these things a lot more. So what's going on here, I thought was interesting, is because China's state sanctioned blockchain project, or BSN, it added Polkadot. I was like, geez, that's amazing. So what's going on here? So if you don't know, BSN is the state-run blockchain service network. It is a closed network, and it's the initiative for China to kind of take control of blockchain in their country and really get people involved, because they want to be the world leader. And that's a smart thing, because apparently America can't do that because they just drag their feet. Not that I'm bitter, just that I'm bitter. And, good for China for, taking a lead in these permission. I mean, it is what it is. It is still permission. But hey, I mean, they're taking the lead, so good for them. Anyhow, the state-sanctioned network, which was launched in July, allows developers to access public chains, to build or operate their decentralized applications, or dApps, but they're all closed. So they state, we anticipate Polkadot to be used by developers across the world to build and run innovative protocols and applications. This was actually Bjorn Wagner, co-founder of Parity Technologies, behind Polkadot. The BSN integration will support developers on that journey by enabling them to seamlessly connect to the public chain. Polkadot helps connect both public and permissioned chains with each other on its protocol. So when I was reading this, I'm like, why does China implement this? What are they getting out of it? They're like, oh, okay, that's right. Polkadot doesn't really compete with anybody. It's just there for interoperability. So that's one of the reasons why I've invested in Polkadot. Anyhow, it's set to join BSN's Open Permission Blockchain Initiative to provide blockchain services in the Chinese market, where decentralized public chains are heavily scrutinized by its government. And out of all that scrutiny, they still say, you know what, Polkadot, we're going to go with that. These are the things that you have to look for in projects. Like, who's adopting it? What kind of community do they have? What is the team behind it? When you know these types of things, you kind of get excited for the project, and you're like, okay, well, I don't know what's going to go on in the near term, but they're setting themselves up for massive explosion moving on in the future, and it's why I invested into it. So let me know what you think about this project. Let's move on. And last up, this is one of the big stories. Cardano's Goguen era inching closer. And I will just say this. I was very critical of Cardano because the price never moves, and, I get antsy because I'm human, and that's just how it goes, right? We want everything to happen faster, now, quicker, and all that stuff. But I've been critical of that. Also been critical about Cardano moving so slow. I'm like, just get going. Just, make it work. And, of course, I was wrong, because you would see all these different protocols and different problems that are going on. I mean, look, as far as DeFi goes, I mean, that is just a dumpster fire in some of those different projects. Also, real quickly, 100 million liquidated on the DeFi protocol Compound following an Oracle exploit. I'm not going to go over it because it's just like every day there's some other problem with DeFi and what is going on there. But so I've been critical of Cardano, and they're doing it the right way, right? They're doing it the right way, doing the right things, taking it very slow, because they're trying to really do some pretty good things and pretty amazing things, in my opinion. So what's going on here? Well, let's take a look. So Goguen, the forthcoming era of the Cardano blockchain, inching closer to full implementation in the most recent rollout update. And of course, Goguen, if you don't know, that's going to be able to implement smart contracts on the Cardano blockchain. This is what it looks like. So before, I mean, we're pretty much in the middle right now. I mean, kind of. So Byron, as far as the roadmap goes, that was the foundation. That was when they were kind of laying all the track. And then Shelley is when they actually went from an ERC20 token to the mainnet, and then it became decentralized. That's why we all have now with Cardano, with pools, you can stake your Cardano, and it's actually now 51% is being done by individual pools. Hey, newsflash, I'll also be starting a Cardano staking pool. Give it about 2 or 3 weeks. I don't have the technical know-how to do it. I'm assembling people to help me and to make it be up 100% of the time, because there's been different issues with downtime in other areas. So I'll let everybody know when that's up, and it's going to take a while because I want it to be as good as it possibly can be. All right, so that's Shelly. Now, Goguen is all about smart contracts, and when this happens, when they get this going, now remember, it's not going to be like immediate. We're looking at Q1 2021. So after that happens, and they're going to look for scaling. I think they're talking about Hydra with their 10,000 transactions per second. And then Voltaire is going to be governance, but that's a ways out. So right now, they're focusing on the smart contract. I think it's a great move, and I think it's what's going to help push the price up a lot more. So it states, according to Cardano's Vladimir, the node teams continue to deliver on adding native tokens and token locking features. On the project matter states that they are now close to opening up the pre-production environment that will make it possible to create and distribute native tokens on Cardano. Also, they have that ERC20 converter, the tool that allows managing the tools in the Cardano chain or migrating tokens from other blockchains. If you haven't seen this, I did a video on this a while back, and it's pretty cool. You can just take any ERC20 token that's on Ethereum, put it through this ERC20 converter, and now it'll be on Cardano. So it's like seamless transition. So if Ethereum, for any way, shape, or form, can't handle 100% of the global requirements, that just sounds ridiculous now that I say that. I mean, who can really, take on 100% of the global requirements for everything out there? That's why I think there's not just going to be one smart contract platform. I think it's going to be multiple. And I think Cardano is one of those winners. And that's why I've hedged my bet. It's Ethereum, Cardano, EOS, Tezos. I've done that because I don't know which one's going to be the ultimate winner. I don't think there is ever an ultimate winner. So I like to kind of spread things around. So then moving down, to finish up, the team is also finalizing the cost model of Plutus, the platforms that will power smart contracts on the Cardano blockchain. The Plutus application currently focuses on refreshing the Plutus Playground, a web-based environment, lets developers work on an emulated version of Cardano. So this is one of those things that Cardano likes to do. They like to kind of set things up, let the developers play around with it, break things, and then they kind of push it out to the masses. The beta release scope of Marlowe, a specialized language for Cardano smart contracts, is also almost finalized. So there's a lot of things going on in the background that we don't report on too much here because it's very technical. I am not a very technical person. Some of these things actually put me to sleep, but I know they are fantastic and they're great for the network. And again, some of these things are beyond me, but that's why you have a crack team that's been put together by Charles here to really address all the different issues that they can possibly think of globally and kind of work to be one of those dominating players. Anyhow, I mean, I could be wrong, but let me know what you think in the comments section. And that's it. So thanks for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. If you don't know, the Dan Teaches Crypto website is live. It's a free, 100% free, always is, always will be. And just kind of goes over the simplicity and the simplest way I can describe cryptocurrency digital assets. And they're broken down into 5 different categories. We've got the different course modules. There's 5 basics, where we just go over like the basics: why cryptocurrency, why digital assets, how to do everything that you would probably need to know as far as crypto goes. Safety, how to avoid all the different scams, because it's not about how much you make, it's how much you keep. Module 3 is all about investing, why I dollar cost average, also value averaged. And then the different things you need to do as far as like to do your own research for reviews. And the last one is how do I buy Theta? How do I use Uniswap? How do I, update my Nano Ledger and all those things? So those are all in Module 5. To sign up, just go to danteachescrypto.com. There's a link in every one of my videos. Sign up for free. Very simple thing, very simple to do, very easy. All right, so that's it. So thanks for watching all the way through. Appreciate it again. And if you like these types of videos, there's going to be 2 more that's going to pop up on your left and right. I'll let YouTube do its magic on that one. And that is it. So thanks for watching again. Appreciate it. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.